one thing I know that's very close to your heart and is something that seems to be on the improve is the number of defibrillators around, and you've just introduced a defibrillator bill, haven't you?
Yes, and it gets a second reading in January. So the aim of the bill is, and it was brought to me by the young mayor of Seaford, who's 15 years old. And,
the young mayor of Seaford?
The young mayor of Seaford, whose friend's mum died of cardiac arrest at, I think it was a netball match, at a leisure centre where there was no defibrillator available. And so she campaigned in the town to raise money for defibrillators, but came and saw me and said, look, this is, terrible that these things aren't mandatory. You have fire extinguishers, smoke alarms, we all have seatbelts in our car, and yet something that could save a life is, not necessarily needed in a building. So we've brought in this defibrillator bill to try and make it mandatory in public areas like schools, like village halls, like leisure centres, to have these, so that if someone has a cardiac arrest, they can get treatment straight away, because time matters. You've got 4 minutes really if someone has a cardiac arrest to try and resuscitate them. Outside of those 4 minutes, your chances of survival reduced by something like 80%. So even the best paramedics in the world and the speediest paramedics in the world are going to struggle to get to someone in 4 minutes, whereas a defibrillator on a wall outside a local church or a local school, you can go and grab it, you put the pads on someone's chest, press the on button, and it tells you exactly what to do. You don't need to be trained, anyone can use a defibrillator.
Are they expensive?
They're just under £1,000, so they're not a huge amount of money.
Well, in the overall scheme of things these days, that's not a lot of money.
That's not a lot. And charities like the British Heart Foundation, are supplying those. £1 million was given to the British Heart Foundation last month by the Department of Health, so that if you want a defibrillator, you can apply to the British Heart Foundation and they'll give you one. So, a lot of charities are raising the money to provide these. So it should be, essential piece of equipment.
It's a really good idea. The only thing I have with this is not why we shouldn't do it. Really, I think we really should. But how we actually protect these machines from the vandalism, because we have seen incidences of vandalism to these particular machines. They're open to all sorts of use, aren't they?
No, absolutely. But the amazing thing about the new defibs is if they've got a Wi-Fi connection, they actually send a message to a central database, so that if their battery's running low or if it's run out of pads, or it will tell a central place that
doesn't stop it being vandalised.
Doesn't stop it being vandalised, but they'll pick up on that pretty quickly and can get it replaced. So there's technology to make sure that doesn't happen. But we see things with fire extinguishers that are open to vandalism. That's the nature of it. But I think with public awareness of how important these are, 12 young people a week in this country die from a cardiac arrest. We could
12 too many.
12 too many. And I think if young people are aware of that, and our communities are aware of that, the chances of vandalism will become a lot less.
Yeah. Okay.